What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Bad Brains, and we're going to listen to some more live Bad Brains. We're going to listen to the title track of their 1987 live album, The Youth Are Getting Restless. I'm not sure the origin of this tune in terms of where it might show up in studio version, meaning I don't know what album it's from, or maybe it's from an EP or a compilation. I suppose it could be a song that they sort of came up with when they were on this tour for which this show was a part of. That'd be a little unusual, if only because, oftentimes a band will debut a song that's going to be on a new album while they're still touring. But usually then they'll be like, hey, this is a song from our upcoming album or whatever. So I don't know what album, if it is from an album, The Youth Are Getting Restless is originally from, like the recorded version. And I think the phrase itself predates Bad Brains. Yes, I think this is a phrase that goes much farther back in sort of culture, maybe like literary circles. But yeah, I don't think the phrase is theirs alone. But yeah, it's a concept that suggests a disparity or a divergence between the attitudes, views, and maybe priorities of older generations versus a younger generation. Perhaps it suggests, or at least it implies, that the younger generation wants to break out of the mold or the ways of doing things that older generations have been entrenched in. And perhaps, just on a more general level, they're just not satisfied with the lot that they've been given. They are becoming restless, uncomfortable, and desirous to break out of whatever condition they're in. I think that fits very much within the sort of general lyrical paradigm of Bad Brains more broadly. But once more, not knowing what album it's from, it's not something that I've listened to a lot other than in this live performance. And again, this album, I have a lot of music over time. There are certain albums that sort of go out of your active thought for a little while, and then a couple years later, oh crap, I forgot about this album, and take it out. So this one had been out of my playlist for a while until I started reacting to it, and it was like, oh man, I forgot I have this live Bad Brains album. I'd be curious to hear if people do know where it's from, but either way, it's a reggae tune. It's not one of their punk rock numbers. I think they do both styles equally well. But perhaps because I originally discovered them because they were a punk rock band. Again, hardcore is not a label that they enjoy, and they prefer when people don't refer to even their early music that way. I discovered them through their punk rock. And again, it is notable. I try not to make too much of this because I think people always seem to bring this up right away. It's like, oh, it's a punk band when all the guys are black. And it's like, that is on one level like noteworthy. But on another level, I feel like, too much shouldn't be made of that, because punk rock and sort of the ethos behind it, I think, has appeal across different cultures and societies, and even across, to a certain extent, sort of different ideological outlooks. So, again, I don't want to make too much of that, but I think the fact that they play reggae and the fact that, they performed under the Soul Brains in concerts where they wanted to make clear that this is going to be a reggae show and it's not going to be our older punk rock tunes and so on, I guess I felt the need to mention it, but I almost feel stupid mentioning it because, it's like when I hear people talk about Bad Brains, it's always like one of the first things they bring up, and I'm like, can we just talk about the music first? Because listen to this song. So, I don't know, maybe I'm just neurotic about that, but yeah, bottom line, this is a reggae tune, and among their reggae tunes, I think it's probably my favorite. I Love T.Y.A.G.R, I think is maybe their most popular. I think it's one of the biggest hits that they've had in the reggae style. Bottom line, I think this is probably my favorite tune in their reggae idiom. But like I said, let me know if you know where the original studio version of the song came, whether it was before this live album or after this live album. But let's get it. This is The Youth Are Getting Restless from the Bad Brains live album of the same name, 1987. The bass. Boom, 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 boom. I don't remember much of the lyrics other than just the title phrase said repeatedly. The youth are getting restless.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hey. Oof. Someone sampled that in a hardcore track.
Left of himself for his rightful ruler. Prince of Peace, most dreadful and terrible. The government shall be upon his shoulders. He shall rule the people with equity, justice, and righteousness for all. Yeah.
I'm no Rasta, but I respect that lyrical flow. My goodness.
16-year-old girl just dropped out of school. Said she's tired of being a fool. Oh yeah. 18-year-old man just jumped on the bridge. They call it another suicide. Youth are getting restless. Youth are getting restless. Youth are getting restless. Yeah.
Feels like it's recorded quiet. It's like, I thought for a second maybe the level wasn't at full, but it is. Not the loudest recording, fair to say.
277 victims in South Africa, all under the age of 17. Revolution is on the rise.
Forgot there were lines about apartheid in here.
People are standing up for the right.
This is 87. Same like line going from melodic and lilty to like hard and raspy. Oh yeah. He goes off coming up here.
Some of them wearing patterns and some of them wearing cap. Some of them wear a Levi's and some of them wear a crutch. Some of them come in your Thursday and some of them wear no pants. Revolution, this a revolution. You better watch out because here it comes. Whether you're white or no matter if you're brown, if you're black, yellow or red, revolution time come down.
I do love that.
Yes, yes.
The positive vibes are for everybody. Oh, listen to this bass. It sort of peters out. Like, you tell the audience is like, we're good to cheer. Like, there was that moment where the song had basically ended, but they were still like respectfully kind of waiting, like, you know, is it right? Is it done? But yeah, like I said, it's a cool tune. Probably my favorite like of their reggae tunes, though admittedly I have always over the years of the albums I do have, which are the original like self-titled album, Black Dots, as well as a couple compilations like Band in DC, which has a few songs from a number of different albums. But yeah, the songs that I do know really well from them are more their punk tunes, because that was my original point of interest and contact. But yeah, like I said, there are a couple good reggae tunes that I enjoyed from them. I think there's at least one or two more on this live album, so again, if there's another tune from this live album I haven't reacted to yet, do let me know, or that you'd like to hear. But yeah, other than that, let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.